Hey, what's up guys? Gons here for the Face Like the Sun YouTube channel. I don't normally make videos about media members or journalists out there other than to say that the greater media is lying to you, but this is a particular case where I have to at least express concern and just put it out there as a warning. I'm not trying to call this guy out per se. I'm talking about Mike Cernovich. Now, first off, it's really weird that they would use a guy whose last name starts with Cern. And given the fact that we've talked about CERN quite a bit on this channel and other places around here and what they're doing in Geneva, Switzerland, it's just kind of weird that they would pick a guy named Cernovich. Now, of course, that could be pure coincidence, nothing to see here, move along, but suspicions about him go far beyond just having CERN in his name. He's known as the guy who had the scoop on Susan Rice a couple weeks ago. He seems to have the scoop on Syria. He's making some bold claims about, what's going to happen or what's going down. And I get it. Some people are saying he's sold out. And that's the concern I have here. A lot of people that I talk to seem to trust the guy. So less than 24 hours ago from making this video, I asked the Facebook people, curious what you guys think of Mike Cernovich. And I got over 100 comments. Some people weren't sure about him. Some people said no good. This person said, never saw him before now. Seems manufactured to me, including the guests calling in. Which was interesting because later somebody countered that and said that they actually called in, so they know that part of it is legit. Other people have questions, saying he presents himself well, and there was some love for him out there as well. But here's where things get really interesting. One of the comments had a picture of Cernovich standing there, shaking hands with Scott Pele of CBS Evening News. And there's Cernovich holding up the OK sign, the A-OK sign. Now, for those of us who have been in this community talking about hand symbols and things like that, and some people overstate the issue, and I get that. This is like truth or suicide if you are out there proclaiming to be speaking the truth and you throw up the symbol. But it's like, hey, you know what? People throw up the OK sign, things happen, right? Well, here's another picture of Cernovich with Brittany and Nicole Pettibone, who became celebrities in this alt-right movement that sparked up. And there he is again, holding up the 666 hand sign. And even the comments asking, yo, what's up with that? But again, hey, people hold up the A-OK sign. Things happen. You're with the Pettibone sisters, Cool, you're stoked. And here's another one. An illuminated light behind him. He's on stage, obviously, at some event. Looks like country or some kind of music going on in the background here. But there he is again. Very blatant 666 hand symbol. Not to mention, there's a lady here in the back doing the same symbol. Very interesting. And there's that full shot of Cernovich with Scott Pele. The full image, he's standing there, he's shaking hands, and I'm sure people who use body language analysis and things like that can get into more of that. That's not really my expertise, but just to show you, hey, this happened, and this is the full picture, not just that cutoff in the comments. And here he is in his home office studio thing, again, holding up the sign. And another. And another, and this one in front of what looks like Fox News. So here's a real basic question. Mr. Cernovich, if you're proclaiming the truth, why are you taking pictures holding up that sign over and over and over again? Unless you've sold out. Now remember, he was the guy that went on Alex Jones and maintained credibility or, truthfulness about the whole Pizzagate story. And there's something there. I think perhaps there's a history with Mike Cernovich that warrants to be easily controlled by the elite. This is how they do it. Blackmail. So if that's the case, then I would hope he breaks free of that. And the power of Christ can do that. But here's why we're asking those questions. Somebody on Twitter posted these screenshots. I don't know if they're real, but I will share them. I'll blur out some of the stuff that's a little bit more vulgar. Mike Cernovich, a Twitter handle, play dangerously. Once they've bad my super serum, they don't want anything else. Girls become addicted to, So there you have it. There's one. And then there's this one, Mike Cernovich at Play Dangerously, at JMDiv. It's also anti-rape game. After abusing a girl, I always immediately send a text and save her reply. Interesting tweet there. That's just kind of weird. Back in 2012. And then here's another one from 2014. It took me 5 years and $50,000 to beat the false rape case against me. Here are the details. And so allegedly there was a rape case against Mike Cernovich, and he's open about it, and it looks like he claims it was a false case, according to this tweet anyway. So it's a fair warning. This is not to try to character assassinate the guy. I don't know him. I did, on Twitter, extend an invitation to interview him because on his Twitter handle it says he's in Orange County, which is where I am. So if you're out there, Mike Cernovich, I would love to sit down and talk to you and ask you point blank about the hand symbols. And, you know, maybe you have a perfectly good explanation for it. Who knows? But it is something that culturally we've accepted as just a benign symbol of AOK, which, by the way, if you go look at the history of AOK, or at least the Wikipedia page of AOK, it goes back to U.S. Air Force Lieutenant Colonel John Shorty Powers, who popularized the expression AOK while NASA's public affair officer for Project Mercury, and was reported as attributing it to astronaut Alan Shepard during his Freedom 7 flight. And it's just very interesting that AOK would be, of course, never a straight answer, NASA, the originator of that saying. And I don't know exactly when it became associated with the hand symbol, which up until about World War II was commonly known and understood to be a occult or satanic symbol for 666. But in addition, there's a note here that says the phrase AOK has already been in use in 1952 in an advertisement by Midvac Steels, which titles AOK for Tomorrow's Missile Demands. So interesting that AOK has to do with missile demands in this case, and the hand symbol with Cernovich talking about Syria and missiles, and it's just a little bit weird. It's almost like you have to make that symbol public in order to communicate with the controllers, and so that they allow you to climb up the corporate and perhaps the government ladder along the way. It's very interesting. It's a real thing. It's a real phenomenon, so you can't deny that it happens. I just think as a community of truth-seeking believers especially, we shouldn't buy into every story that is being sold to us through these platforms, especially as they spring up out of nowhere. And I'm not saying everybody is lying to you. Use your own discernment, come to your own conclusions, but be malleable and be honest with the evidence in front of you. I think ultimately what this comes down to is a long debate that popped up in the comment section going back to the Facebook post when I asked people what they thought of Mike Cernovich. I think it has to do with controlling the narrative of a particular people group, and especially maintaining that stronghold on Christians. And this is why this topic is so dangerous, because when you start seeing what the Bible actually says about the children of God, of Israel, of those grafted in, I think we start to realize that there has been a particular form of eschatology that has been sold to us that is actually biblically diametrically opposed, and it's wrong, and it could have something to do with the end times deception and the great apostasy. I don't know, but it has that kind of stronghold to it. And hopefully you kind of follow me, especially those who track with me on this channel. You know what I'm talking about. But let me know what you guys think. The other name that popped up in the discussion was Stefan Molyneaux and his channel. I really enjoy Stefan and his work on his YouTube channel, his philosophical approach to things, and I just appreciate what he does. So if you haven't checked out his channel, I'll leave a link in the description section. He talks about all kinds of stuff. He even talked about flat Earth, believe it or not. So check him out. He's not a believer, I don't think, but he does think clearly about things. But anyway, I don't know why I'm plugging him so much in this video. The main point here, a warning out to those of you out there about Mike Cernovich. Stay vigilant, stay sober-minded about this stuff. Be good Bereans, searching the scriptures daily to see if these things are true. Have an awesome day, guys. God bless.